just love the story. A couple years back, when I was youth pastor at First Assembly, I took our kids on a mission trip to Boston. We went to inner city Boston, and we just went up there to help a church. We're like, hey, we're coming. They had us pass out pamphlets and flyers, and it was hot, and it was just like, you know, you've done mission trips. Some are great, some are just like, ugh, wow. It was one of those wows. And at the end of we had promised the kids, look, on the way back, we're going to go through New York. We're going to go to Times Square. You're going to love it. We'll get there like at lunchtime. We'll eat lunch, and it's going to be awesome. And we'll head on home. Well, we stayed for the church service on a Sunday, and the kids, like, were sitting on the pew. I'm sitting here. All the kids are here, and they kept looking at me like every 5 minutes. Can we leave? Can we leave? Can we leave? Like, we'll leave when the church service is over. I'd already told the pastor, look, we got to get back home because I really want to take my kids to New York. And I said, you know, we'll just take our lunch to go if that's cool with you. And he said, that's fine, no problem. Well, during the service, it became this very long service. I mean, it was stuff like, Brother Paul, would you please come down and dedicate the baby? Yeah, okay. I've never met the baby, but I'll do it. Bless you. We got to get to New York. You know, I mean, it just kept going on and on and on. And they kept looking at me, and I kept going, you can't leave. You just can't. You're here to honor these people. You can't leave. And yeah, it's a testament to my kids. At some point, they quit looking. They were just like, New York ain't happening. Because when it was over, suddenly the lunch to go had turned into like, we fixed your lunch. It's downstairs. 5 women have been working all morning. They're looking at me like, we know. We got it. We need to go eat food. It's like, guys, I love you. I'm sorry. I mean, I know you want to go to New York, but this is why we're here. So we go downstairs. We didn't leave until late. I mean, it was late. We're driving down the road, and I had one guy with me. His name was Bill Bradley. He was one of the youth workers that was on the trip. And he looked at me. He said, Paul, I love our kids. And I said, man, you know I love our kids too. He said, I was so impressed with the way they served today that if you're willing to, I'm willing for us to take turns driving through the night and take these kids to New York City and take them to Times Square. And I said, man, if you're in, I'm in. He said, let's do it. So we started driving, you know, and I told the kids, I said, you know what, we're going to go to New York City. And I don't know how long we can stay there because it's going to be like midnight when we get there, and maybe we'll just be there until we get robbed and killed. But we're going to New York City. You know? And so sure enough, we got there at midnight. We rode the subway, and it was still working, and we got in, we walked up, and it's like lights everywhere. My kids, you know, we're from North Carolina, so they're just like, wow. This is awesome. What's that dude doing to that guy? Oh, this is cool. We're walking around, and yeah, we're a group of teenagers, so even though it's like almost midnight, you're walking around, and eventually, because you're teenagers, you know this too, one of them looked at me and said, what are we going to eat? I was like, it's midnight. Are you kidding? Like, but this is the city that never sleeps. Like, I think that's just a song. I don't think it's true. But we went to Planet Hollywood. And it was still open. Like, it's still open. So we walk in, and I'm from, you know, Albemarle, the land of like 3 restaurants, and everything's closed at midnight. So I'm telling them, look, it's open. That's great. But surely there won't be a line because it's midnight. No, it really is a city that never sleeps. And so the line at Planet Hollywood was out the door. And we walked in. I kind of walked in like, oh, this is going to take forever. I walked up, and just in a moment of sheer brilliance, I looked at the lady who was there, and she said, yes, sir, may I help you? And I said, well, kind of. I see this really long line here, but that's like the regular line, right? Because isn't this the line for like the group of 15 that just came from Boston? And she went, wait 1 second. And she walked away, and I was like, that's kind of cool. I don't know what's going to happen. She's going to shoot me, you know? And she came walking back. She had 15 minutes, and she said, follow me. And I said, and we walked past all those people. We're like, how's it going? We're the group of 15 from Boston. She took the beautiful table in the middle of the restaurant. We sat down. We ordered our dessert because that's all we could afford. And as we're sitting there eating, I just looked at my kids and I said, look, God is such a cool God. And He will go to great lengths to prove a point. And today, your God has gone to a great length to remind you that if you will put others first, He will never, ever forget to honor you.